What's cracking, Jack? It's Thursday, December 18th, and you're in the jungle. 12 games on tap in the association. I've got them all for you right here, right now. Greetings, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to the show. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. I'm going to break down all 12 games in the NBA and give you my best bet for each one of those games. I'm also going to leave two links for you in the comments section. The first link is to my $5 favorite play of the day. And for just a fin and no further obligation, you get my best bet of the day text to your phone. Yesterday's play was Jalen Tyson of the Cavs over 12.5 points. Congratulations to all who cashed. The second link is to become a Jungle member. And as a member, for as little as 55 cents a day, you get my full betting card sent to your phone every single morning. You also get access to our members-only Discord and a direct line to me. If you'd like me to opine on any other bet that you are considering placing, we have a free weekly trial. Take it for a test spin and see if it's for you. Today's video is brought to you by Outlier.bet, the top name in sports betting research, and by Red Lobster, the fast food of the sea. We're going to recap yesterday. Before we do that, just want to make sure people understand the way that I bet, because sometimes in the comment section, some Mama Luke will put, hey, you had 14 plays yesterday in the video and only 6 of them hit, or whatever. I don't bet every play in the video. So when I do the videos, I break down every game, every day for you guys, because I know some of you guys have an interest in certain games. If you live in Portland, you might have an interest in the Blazers game, what have you. You might be fans of certain teams or certain players, and you're looking for a bet in a certain game. So I break down every single game. Now, I don't bet every single game. The plays that I make and the ones I give out to Jungle members, they all come from the video. Okay, but I don't bet every single one of them. And if you notice, I bet mostly player props. I found that, now I do bet spreads and totals sometimes, but I found that player props, and doing this for a living, are the most lucrative way, staying mostly with player props, the most lucrative way to turn a profit. Again, I do bet spreads and totals, but mostly I bet the player props, and everything comes that I bet from these videos. So if you want to bet exactly what and only what I'm betting, you do that by becoming a member. If you want my favorite bet of the day, the $5 favorite play of the day is the way to do that. So we were 2-0 yesterday. We hit Jalen Tyson over 12.5 points. We hit on Jalen Wells, both Jalen's, over 13.5 points. So a good day yesterday. Today's journey begins in Charlotte with the Hawks minus 5.5 taking on the Hornets. 238.5 is the total. LaMelo Ball questionable for Charlotte. Trae Young probably returning for Atlanta. Second meeting of the season, Atlanta won the first game in Atlanta 113-110. I would take the points with the Hornets at home. The Hawks have had a tough time covering as favorites this year. They're just 30% against this number of minus 5.5 in their last 10 games. And the Hornets have covered this number of plus 5.5 in 6 of their last 10. It also is always a little bit tricky when you work superstars like Trae Young back into the lineup after a long layoff. It could take some time for him to click again. So I like Charlotte with the 5.5 at home. I also like Con Knipple. It's funny every time. Over 18.5 points, especially with Colin Sexton and Trey Mann out. And if Melo doesn't play, I like it even more. In the 4 games that those 3 players I mentioned have been out, Knipple has a median of 29.5 points a game on 20 shots in 38 minutes. Knicks, minus 4.5 at Indiana, over under 225.5. Take the points with the Pacers here, believe it or not. This is the front end of a back-to-back for the Knicks, and they're considering resting a lot of key players. Hart, OG, and Cat, all questionable for this game. And it's a classic fatigue spot for the Knicks after just winning the NBA Cup and probably partying in Vegas, while the Pacers have been resting at home. And New York just 3-9 against the spread on the road in their last 12. And pay attention to the props in this game later on once it's announced who's sitting. It might be worth hopping on Jordan Clarkson or Deuce McBride of the Knicks over points. Miami, minus 6.5 at Brooklyn, over under 227.5. Tyler Hero out, Jovic out, and Norman Powell questionable for the Heat. And because of this, I'm going right to Bam Adebayo over 19.5 points. Now, I'd play the over in the game, 227.5, but Bam points is the best play in this game. Games without those 3 players I just mentioned, Powell, Hero, and Jovic, he has a median of 27 points a game. Even if Powell plays, I still love Bam over 19.5 points. Clippers, plus 17.5 at OKC. James Harden out for the Clippers. OKC pissed about the cup. Don't touch this game. If you do, you're out of your goddamn mind. Toronto, minus 5.5 at Milwaukee. Over under 219.5. Bucks coming off of a brutal, and I mean brutal, blowout loss to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn doesn't blow anybody out. The Bucks should have probably been relegated to the G League after that game, but here they are still in the NBA, and they're not backable. I wouldn't trust the Bucks until I see some good signs from them moving forward. I like the Raptors minus the 5.5, and I consider Brandon Ingram of Toronto over 24.5 points. He's over this line in 3 straight games with 30, 31, and 28 points, and his volume has been out of this world. Houston minus 9.5 at New Orleans, over under 234.5. Lay the points with the Rockets. Houston has a point differential of plus 9.6 per game. Pelicans minus 8.5. New Orleans has been good against the spread. They've covered 8 of their last 10, but the Rockets are too talented for them. Houston also has been very good on the road, 11-4 against the number in their last 15 games. And I like El Prune Sengun over 21.5 points. He has the highest usage rate of any Rocket, 27.2%, even higher than Durant. Pelicans give up a ton of points, second most in the West, 122.8 per game. And this line that Sengun has been over in 4 of his last 5 games with a median of 28 points a game, taking 21 shots. Wizards plus 14.5 at San Antonio, over under 240.5. Don't mess with the spread or total here. Go right to the player prop market. Take Dylan Harper of San Antonio over 14.5 points. He's over this in 5 of his last 8 games with a median of 16 points a game. He's playing more and more minutes, becoming more a part of the Spurs offense. The show is proudly sponsored by MyBookie.ag, one of the biggest and best offshore sports books that there is. 2 great reasons to open an account with MyBookie.ag. Number 1, it's legal in all 50 states. Number 2, they have a special promotion for Jungle viewers. Open up a new account today at MyBookie.ag using promo code SILVERBACK. And if your first bet doesn't hit, it's refunded up to $500. Now back to the video. We move to Dallas with the Pistons laying 6.5, taking on the Mavericks. Over under 228.5. Glassman. Anthony Davis questionable, most likely out. I like the over in this game. Dallas has been over this number in 4 straight games, and the Pistons over in 3 of their last 4. The Mavericks have started to find their offense a bit. Last 3 games, they've scored 133, 119, and 122. And Detroit's the 3rd highest scoring team in the East, scoring 119.3 points per game. I also like Jaden Ivey of the Pistons, a sneaky play, over 8.5 points coming off the bench. He's over this in 4 of his last 5 games with at least 10 points in those 4. Lakers minus 7.5 at Utah, over under 243.5. Austin Reeves out for the Lakers. Lauri Markkanen questionable for Utah. I will lay the points with the Lakers. I don't trust Utah, but I do trust Keyonte George of the Jazz to light the scoreboard up. He has a median of 29 points a game over his last 5 and a median of 28 over his last 10. He's taking 20 shots a game, playing 35 minutes, and he's played the Lakers twice this season. Hit them for 34 and hit them for 27. Keyonte George over 24.5, your best play in this game. Orlando plus 6.5 at Denver, over under 236.5. Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner out for Orlando. I think it's going to hurt them. I like the Nuggets minus 6.5. That's a lot of scoring and a lot of defense that they're missing. The Magic are a top 10 scoring defense, but Denver 7-0. Their last 7 against top 10 scoring defenses. Nuggets also have won 5 straight games, and they're fairly healthy. I also like Jamal Murray over 24.5 points. He's had 3 30-plus point games in his last 3 and his last 5 30-plus point games, and a median of 27 points a game in his last 10. Golden State at Phoenix, over-under is 230.5. We're going to cap this on the money line because the spread's just 1.5. It keeps moving around both sides, and the money line's palatable on both sides of it. I like the Warriors to win. Pardon me, both teams have been off since December 14th, and I think the rest helps the Warriors more with those veterans. Also, Steph Curry has been absolutely dynamite. Let's look at Curry's last 8 games. He's had at least 31 points in 6 of his last 8 games with a median of 38 points a game. Warriors money line and Curry over 28.5 points. In the last game today we're looking at is Sacramento plus 8.5 at Portland, over under 238.5. Sacramento's terrible, but I don't feel comfortable laying 8.5 with Portland either. They've only covered this number of minus 8.5 in 10% of games this season. Zach LaVine out for the Kings. So we're going to take the under. We're going under 238.5. 7 of the Kings' last 10 games have been under this number, and 7 of the Blazers' last 10 have been under this number. And then for a prop, I think the best play would be Nick Clifford, rookie for the Kings, over 8.5 points. He's likely to start in place of Zach LaVine today, And with the Kings, being a complete mess this year and really not having a chance at all making the playoffs, even though it's this early, they probably want to develop him a little bit and get him minutes. Have a great day, Jungle Nation. Let me know your favorite plays in the comment section. And I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.